Hey digital insurance brokers, in this video we're going to talk everything that there is to talk about investments in marketing. So in this video you're going to learn how to invest, how much to invest, what is a cost, what is a investment in terms of digital marketing and in terms of your general marketing for your insurance brokerage business. It's going to be all about making money for you. So welcome. This is definitely one of the episodes that is going to take you a little bit closer to the goal of having you create a system that is going to guarantee that you write at least one new policy per day, regardless of what happens, regardless if it is raining outside, if something happened. It doesn't matter. With a system that relies on digital marketing strategies, you can have enough leads, enough qualified leads that are going to fill your sales pipeline in order to have one new policy being written every day. So let's get started. There's a misconception there about what is a marketing investment and what is a marketing cost. Normally, when I'm talking to insurance brokers, I'm normally using the term investment when it comes to defining budgets and where to invest. So that's the word that I normally use. But then it's funny that when the counterpart, when the broker, and not all brokers, but when I'm discussing that with a few brokers, they, instead of using the word investment, the word that comes out is cost. So yeah, my marketing cost is going to be that. And it's totally fine. I understand where that comes from, and most of the time it comes from the types of marketing investments that that broker was doing, or from what I call past life experiences. So whatever that broker was working on before being a broker, and the type of marketing exposure that she had in that past life could make their brain connect to costs as marketing being a cost instead of an investment. And that is something that I want to differentiate right now. So in order to do that, let me explain you that there are two types of marketing and then you have all of the marketing activities, but they can be grouped in one of those two types of marketing. The first one is generally the type of marketing that you can correlate to being a cost. So it is the type of marketing that is normally related to brand building or non-measurable. So you cannot track the outcome of a marketing activity, or it is the type of that's a term that that I read in a book, which is the wish marketing. You do a marketing activity and you wish for something positive to happen. You don't know what the outcome is going to be. You cannot control that during the execution of that marketing activity. So that's the first type of marketing. And like I said, the activities inside this group are normally going to be costs, because you rarely see the return on investment. The other type of marketing is called performance marketing. And inside performance marketing, you most of the time you have all of the digital marketing activities, digital marketing medias like Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, referral marketing, which doesn't need to be digital marketing. But in this second group, which is the performance marketing group, you have activities that you can track the outcome. You know exactly the metrics that are going to guide you towards a goal. And then when you know the metrics, you can optimize. And if you can optimize, you can increase your return on investment. And because it's measurable, you know what that return on investment is. So with that, that you can finally come to understand what is exactly the difference between investment and cost. A cost essentially will not give you any investment back. It is a money that you put in and you don't expect anything to come out of that process. Whereas an investment, it is a money that you put in, but then at the end of the process, you see hopefully a positive multiplier coming out. It is possible that you have a negative investment. So you put money in and then you see money, a little bit of money out coming out, and it's not the same as you added. And that's a negative investment, and that's fine, because if it is a controllable process, you can optimize, turn that into a positive investment. Now, my background and my expertise is solely with performance marketing. So that the type of marketing that allows you, for one, to start with a specific goal, and that's what I call a mission specific type of marketing. Whatever, it doesn't matter what type of marketing activity that you will be doing inside this type of marketing, it will take you closer to a mission, to a goal. And then the first thing I want you to do right now, if you want to go to the route of the performance marketing, is to pick a goal. And how to pick a goal? Well, there's a framework that helps a lot, which is the SMART goal framework. So SMART is an acronym for picking a goal that is specific. So that means setting a goal that is defined in the details. And then the M stands for measurable. It means that after you execute the strategy that is going to take you towards that goal, you can see if you achieve that goal. So it's measurable. Then the A stands for achievable, meaning that it is possible to do it. Then R stands for realistic, and it is goal that is within boundaries of the possibility. And then the T stands for time bound, that your goal needs to be defined by a specific time slot. So examples of SMART goals that you can pick right now, and that goal is going to be your mission. And that mission is going to be what your performance marketing is going to do for you. So examples are, let's say you want to write 5 life insurance policies in the next 30 days. It is specific, it's measurable. You know, if you look at the policies at the end of 30 days, you know if you got that. It is realistic. Possibly it is inside a time frame that you can actually do it. So that's a typical goal. And my recommendation is that you start actually with a very low goal, because if you're new to digital marketing and you're not an expert on the strategies that are going to take you towards that goal, chances are that the micro wins are going to motivate you. So start with small goals, and write your goal here in the comment section of this video. This is going to allow you to publicly state and commit to that goal, and again, that's powerful. It's going to help you. So think about your SMART goal. What is your mission that you want with performance marketing? And then you can go to the next step. The next step is to pick one strategy only that you're going to execute to let you fulfill that goal. So let's go back to that goal of selling 5 policies, life insurance policies. Then there are multiple strategies to do that. Multiple. You could do LinkedIn prospecting. You could do Facebook, Instagram posts. You could do referral inside your client bases. There are many performance marketing activities that you could be doing. But let's say that you picked Google Ads. That's another one that is very valid for lead generation. Now, if you picked that the only strategy is going to be Google Ads and pick one, only one, then everything else that you're doing, if you're doing Facebook posts, Instagram posts, if you're whatever you're doing, stop doing it. And I know it's counterintuitive because if you pick Google Ads, your Instagram profile is going to be left abandoned. And yeah, it is going to be, because it makes much more sense for you to put your energy and focus on becoming an expert on Google Ads, on whatever strategy you picked, until you reach your goal, and then allows you to increase your goals, than to disperse your energy on multiple strategies. There are insurance brokers doing everything and they don't do anything right. So pick one. Google Ads is definitely one that makes sense, because you get results immediately. There is a learning curve. It is quite a steep learning curve, but once you get over it, you're going to be better than 98% of the insurance brokers that there are. You're going to be competing at the same level of the insurers or the lead aggregators. And then you gain the advantage of being a local, doing targeting ads and targeting a local area. So anyway, so pick one. My preference would be to go with Google Ads. That's what I would do. And then become an expert on Google Ads. Don't do anything else, just focus on that. And that means that from the moment you take that decision until you smash that goal, you will only read, see videos, think about that strategy. Okay, so there's lots of noise out there in the internet. So you pick one, stick to it, master it, and then beat your goals, and then move on to different, either higher goals or add more strategies to your lead gen ecosystem. And once you do that, that's when you're going to have your policies everyday system in place. You're going to have multiple lead gen channels working for you at peak levels, driving leads in enough quality and quantity so you can write new policies every day. All right, so there is one habit of the highly effective people, that is start with the end in mind. And that means that whatever strategy you pick needs to be connected to your mission, to your SMART goal. So let's say you want to write 5 life insurance policies in 30 days. That is your end goal. Now work backwards until you get all the metrics and the middle information that is going to get you to that. So if you need 5 policies, how many proposals do you need? Perhaps it's 15. Perhaps out of every 3 proposals that you send, only 1 signs up. So you need 15 proposals. Now, let's say that in order to write 15 proposals, you need 30 meetings. And so because you do meetings, and 50% of your meetings don't request a proposal. So that's up to you to gauge your sales efficiency. Now, so you need 30 meetings. How many leads do you need to set 30 meetings? So perhaps it's 60. You need 60 leads, and you, with 60 names and phone numbers and emails, you can only schedule some time to meet half of them. The other half you're throwing out. Again, that's your sales efficiency. Now, you know that you need 60 leads. That's great. Now, you can go back to your landing page and see what is the conversion rate that you have in your landing page. Let's say it is 50%. And I have an episode here in the channel where I talk about landing pages and conversion rates, so make sure that you check that out. But let's say if you need 60 leads and you have a 50% conversion rate, it means that you need 120 clicks in your landing page. So if you need 120 clicks in your landing page, you can go and calculate how many ads you need to be printed or shown in the search engine results page with Google. And then with the number of and if you need 120 visits, it means 120 clicks. Now, with Google you pay per click, so that way you can calculate your maximum cost per click. And I'm going to talk about investments in a bit and defining investments, but if you did this and you set expectations and you added a little bit of a cushion there, so because things might not go that way when you implement, then you know that if you actually sell 5 life insurance policies, what is your commission? So you can know out of that entire commission how much you're going to reserve for this strategy too. I'm going to a little bit now on the typical budgets, but the idea is just so you can see that it's extremely possible to create an entire funnel before you begin to implement it. And that's what start with the end goal in mind means. And that's one of the habits that you should use in order to be highly effective. All right, so now when you mentally did this funnel, it could get lost because you're going to now start to implement your campaign and you could lose it. So make sure that you open a new spreadsheet and just type that funnel. Start with how many policies you want, how many proposals you need, how many leads you need, and write that down. That's your budget. That's your forecast. Now, when you add that, then from time to time you can go back and calculate your actual against your forecast. And that's how you're never going to have a strategy that doesn't work, because you're on every 2 days, every week, you're tracking your forecast against your actual. Now, and also when you do that, you're going to identify the metrics that are going to contribute to your return on investment. ROI means return on investment. You will have to reserve, let's say that you reserve $1,000 or €1,000, depending on where you are where you're watching this. Let's say you go into this strategy with 1,000 monies reserved for this. You will know what your return on investment is, both the calculated and the actual. And there's a shift in mindset here that I want you to have, which is you will not be paying for that investment. It's not you that will pay for your Google Ads campaign or your Facebook campaign. It's not you. Change your mentality. Your investment, your own performance marketing is always paid by the client, because you're going to be looking at the commission that you're forecasting to receive, and then reserving a part from that commission for your marketing budget. That means that it is not a out-of-pocket expense. It is a cost of sale type of expense. That is a powerful change of mentality that is going to eliminate any type of fear that many insurance brokers have on investing. Start thinking as a reduction on your commission. And it is a necessary reduction in order for you to sell more, right? So keep that in mind. Now, I don't want you to leave this video without at least a guideline on what is a typical budget, how much you want to invest. Now, it is extremely complicated for me to give you a guideline because it varies a lot. It varies by the product you want to sell, it is life insurance, health plan, travel insurance, it varies a lot. It varies by your experience level, as you're going to see what I'm going to explain. It varies by your location. And I'm reaching a global audience here. So it varies a lot. I'm going to try to be as specific, but as broad as well, so you can have a good answer. So my answer is going to depend first on your experience level. And I'm going to divide here in 3 categories. So white belts are the insurance brokers that are just beginning. They don't have they don't have a lot of experience with any marketing activity. They're just starting. So if that's you, you're a white belt, or you did something that didn't work, and so you're also a white belt. But inside the white belt group, there are insurance brokers that are going to be cautious, conservative, and insurance brokers that are going to be aggressive. So the cautious ones, they're going to think a lot about how much they're going to invest and what if it doesn't work. And they're closer to the point of needing extremely badly that money in order to meet commitments. So they're the cautious ones, and that's fine. And then you have the aggressive ones, and that's fine as well. The aggressive ones, they're willing to be more aggressive, to take risks, to accept the consequences of not being skilled enough to manage a marketing strategy. Again, that's fine, but they also understand that they could commit a larger portion of their commission in order to gain customers, because they see the lifetime value of that customer in their book of business. Okay, so think about where you are, and then I'm going to give you the targets here. So if you are a white belt and a cautious insurance broker, then think about reserving 5 to 8% of your commission for marketing activities, for performance marketing. If you are aggressive, you can think about going between 20 and 30% of your commission and setting that for your marketing activity. Now, if you're a green belt has already performed a few campaigns. They might be performing or not, but they're seeing a return on investment, even though it's small. So if you see a positive ROI, you are a green belt. And then you can start to increase your investment levels. And again, if you are cautious, you could go to 12, 15%. And then if you are aggressive, you could go all the way up to 40%, 50%. Now, here's the interesting thing. As you do more and more, and again, that's why it's important to prioritize on one strategy only. As you do more and more of that one strategy, you're going to become a black belt that strategy. It means that you optimize your campaign, you optimize your landing page, you know your sales funnel. If you have a lead, you can pretty much always present a proposal. Your proposals are well presented. You pretty much all the time get a signed policy. So you're a black belt in this strategy, and that means that. And that's the interesting thing. As you become a black belt, your investment is going to be lower. You're going to be able to be a black belt and commit perhaps 10% of your commission, 5% of your commission to marketing activity. So it's really a cycle where you either start low or you start high with a big portion of your commission being committed to marketing activities. But then it will decrease. It will decrease because you will be more skilled. You will learn how to do this at a perfection level, right? So I also want to talk about what is that percentage being applied to. And there are 2 ways for you to consider this. You can either apply that percentage on a forecasted commission, And this goes back to your mission. So if you set a mission to sign 5 health plans, and you know that that commission is going to be an X amount, then your percentage is going to be based on that forecasted, that future amount. Now, the other way to get the actual number, the actual dollar number, is to look at the past. So let's say that in the past 6 months, your average, the average number of policies you wrote for a specific product was 5. And that gave you, that translated to a commission amount of certain type. You can apply your percentage split for your marketing budget based on a past number. Either way will work. All it matters is that you leave this part of the exercise here with a dollar amount, and you add that to your investment spreadsheet that you did just a moment ago. All right, so what happens if you don't have all that money right now? Well, it means that you need to find a place to save and stop wasting the equivalent of that amount. And typically, based on my conversations with insurance brokers, this is typically where I see the biggest saving opportunities for them to find the money to invest with performance marketing. So there are many brokers using automation tools to, and let me explain what they are. They are robots that connect to your Instagram profile or your Facebook profile, and they try to increase the number of followers you have. And there's a misconception that the higher number of followers means a higher chance for someone requesting a quote from you. And there's absolutely no relation between followers and money. Think about a credit card bill that you have. Can you go to the bank and pay that credit card bill with followers? You can't. So there's no relation, absolutely no relation. So if you have a automation tool that is artificially getting you followers, cancel that immediately. That is the worst tool that you can have in your marketing stack. Then the other area that insurance brokers can save on is on posts. There are insurance brokers that are outsourcing post creation, so the feed posts, stories, to freelancers, family members, and then again, if you're doing this, and most of the profiles that I see are full of posts with request a quote, car insurance, request a quote, and it's all about request a quote. And people are not in the social media channels, in the social media networks to buy insurance. So stop doing it. If you want to, if your strategy is social media, there is a way to make it work, but it's not with request a quote type of posts. So stop doing it. You're just wasting time and money on that. Use that money on a strategy that works. And then of course, offline and the wish type of marketing activities. Here in the building, we have a restaurant, and yesterday I was over there, and there was an insurance broker that was just handing out business cards and flyers. Now that's wishful thinking. It's wish marketing. You paid whatever it costs to get those flyers, and you're handing that over, wishing that someone is going to call you and request a quote. So that there's no way for you to optimize, control that process. So stop doing that. And then again, you could be doing wish marketing activities like sponsoring a race, getting a community event, speaking, paying for a speaking opportunity. You could be doing all that, but only do that after you set your policy everyday strategy and it is working at optimal levels. Until then, don't do anything else. Just focus on the strategies that you can control, right? It makes sense. And all right, so once you found a way to save and then got that money for your first performance marketing campaigns, then you need to set some time, commit to that strategy. Again, the key here is commit to a strategy once you launched it. Set some time on your calendar to review, to optimize, because there's no such thing as a strategy that didn't work. It doesn't exist. All there is a strategy that was not optimized. So if you launch a Google Ads campaign, you cannot set and forget. You have to go back and optimize. It will work, guaranteed. But it like I said, there's a learning curve and you need to be on top of it. So make sure that you commit, add a time in your calendar to go and check that, that campaign. Now, we do have to talk about platforms and media. Let me explain all of this. Because when you have a strategy that requires media buying, let's say you do a Google Ads campaign, you do a YouTube campaign or a Facebook campaign, that is going to require buying media, buying space in a search engine results page, in a social media profile. It is a media cost. But you might also need, well, the first tool that I recommend that every insurance broker have is a email marketing automation platform, because that's where you're going to build the most important asset in your business, which is a list. But that is a platform cost. So let's say you pay $29 per month for a email marketing platform. That is a platform cost. That's not a media. So when you look at your marketing budget, there's going to be platform costs and media costs. And when I was referring to the 5%, 10%, 15%, 50% costs, marketing investments, they were media only. The platform investments, you have to treat them the same way you treat your electricity bill, your internet bill. They are part of running your business. Okay? They do not go inside the same bucket as media buying. So you're going to have those fixed costs, which are the platform costs, and the variable costs, which is media. So fixed costs, they're going to go, if you look at your P&L statement, your accountant is going to be doing it. Your fixed costs are going to be in the G&A section on your operational costs. Your media investments, how much you paid on your Google bill, they're going to go to the cost of goods sold line. So they reduce your revenue before you apply the operational. Okay, so just a little bit of accounting there for you. And then this is interesting. You have two ways to make payments for your media vendors. You can do prepayments or you can do credit card payments. And for some reason, I still don't know why, many insurance brokers pick the prepayment method. So what they do is they pre-charge their advertising account with, let's say, $1,000 or €1,000. It doesn't matter, but they pre-charge. So they have already made available a certain type of budget to the advertising platform, and then they start running the campaign. Now, if you look at the cash flow, what happened here is that you became negative on day 0 at $1,000. And then your ads start running, your budget is going to decrease. But then you start getting clicks, you start getting leads, you start presenting proposals, and then you start selling, and then you start getting commissions, and then your cash flow becomes positive. And hopefully your negative cash flow is lower than your positive cash flow. That means you have a positive ROI. However, you started at a negative cash flow, and it doesn't make sense because all advertising platforms allow you to set a credit card. So you start running your campaign and they start charging your credit card after a certain amount of, or you will have a credit limit. Let's say that they give you a $400 credit limit. So you start running your campaign. Once you hit $400, Google or Facebook, they're going to charge your credit card, and then you have potentially 30 days to pay that statement. So that makes sense because you just reduced the amount of time that your cash flow was negative. Potentially, and depends on when you get the commissions, but potentially you're going to be maybe 2 weeks, 1 week from a cash disbursement to a positive inflow of that came from the commission. So and when I ask insurance brokers why they're pre-charging and they're prepaying, most of them talk about the credit card limit or not having a credit card for the company, and well, you just have to figure that out and find a solution. But try to pay for your media with your credit card. Not only you're going to get all the benefits from your membership program, you get points and all that, but then you also have this cash flow situation that is to your advantage. All right, so that is the master strategy. You start with an end in mind. You pick one strategy, commit to that strategy, optimize it, make sure that it's getting you a positive return, and then you pick a different strategy, and then you become a master on that, and that's how you set your system. Now, you're probably wondering which strategy should you pick. I mentioned Google, Facebook, referral programs. There are literally dozens of strategies that you can pick depending on your goal. So which strategy to pick and how to execute and how to optimize. If those are questions that you have right now, then the good news is that you are in the right place, because in this YouTube channel here, that's where you're going to find the answers through episodes just like this. This is exactly the type of content that you're going to find here. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, ring the bell so you get notifications when new content is available. And you might have questions on a strategy or how to do something. And then the best place to find answers to those questions or to ask those questions is on the Digital Insurance Broker Instagram profile. So make sure that you go there, follow us. And if you have Telegram, and if you don't have, you should install, you should join our Telegram channel, because that's where I give you daily insights on marketing strategies. Right, so wishing you policies every day, lots of success, and hopefully you take at least one good action from this episode, put that in execution. See you next time.